Bout it, Master P. Man, when we talk about moguls, P stood the test of time. Triple OG, legend, even still looks cool to this day in shades. Sons all millionaires. Basketball, NBA future prospects. Clearly this guy's done something right. Doesn't even get enough respect. So today, gonna break down 3 of his clips to kind of see how he's kept that mindset, what advice he kind of gives to the young people in terms of kind of helping keep that longevity, propelling him to where he's at now. What I love about P as well is that even though the fact that he's worth 400 million, 500 million, you still see him doing interviews so regularly. You still see him with a YouTube channel just grinding. So he's still putting in the exact same work rate that he was putting in 25 years ago. So clearly this guy actually listens to his own advice, and we're going to break down why he's so successful and why I think he is someone to look at. If you're looking for a mentor or you're looking for a mogul that I would really recommend, who's done everything that you would want to do, Master P is definitely going to be top of that list.
Just like what she was saying, when you give somebody your word is so important. Once I gave her my word, I had to come. Even though I got a million other things I got to do, I said, well, I gave her my word. And that's going to go a long way with you in business. Once you give somebody your word, it's good to get it in writing, everything that you need to get done. But when you give somebody your word, you got to stand by it. Because when you start standing by your word, you'll be able to build more relationships and resources.
Man, I think this is a key one, just given the fact that with the music business and all of the businesses that Master P has done, this advice about keeping your word is probably the opposite of what's actually happened to him. You see a lot of people, they say to your face, yeah, I'm going to do this, but then they don't actually end up doing it. They don't keep their word. And what happens with that is that at the time, they might have that short-term gain, but eventually when they're in need, when they're kind of falling down and they need those relationships to pull through, the fact that they weren't truthful, they didn't give their word, always hurts them. So I think P talking about giving his word and saying that, okay, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. When he does have those down times, having those relationships with different publications, different businesses, when he needs help is always super useful. So I think him kind of using those resources and being that kind of stand-up dude has definitely helped him maintain. I think if you even look, the fact that he's been relevant for 30 years now, him keeping his word clearly must have done something, right? And everyone seems to talk so highly of him. Yo, we got another clip of P here talking about going all in, taking chances, going 100% behind yourself.
So the first Ice Cream Man went gold 500,000 at $19 a CD or cassette. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Millions.
So,
Millions.
You know, but that's sometimes you got to take chances on yourself. I think, you know, a lot of people, they say they hustlers, they say they're from the streets, but why is somebody else putting your music out if you really on the street? These records I'm hearing how you trapping and how you doing all this.
Right.
You know, you should be able to put your own music up.
Right.
You don't need nobody to put your music up.
Right,
you know, because
right.
we was out there, we changed our life, but we put our own music up.
Right.
We did our own thing.
Man, we gotta get an amen for that clip, man, because I think that is an ode to this man's self-belief. I mean, when it comes to taking chances, you got a lot of people talking about how they're taking all these risks and chances in life, but if you really got self-belief in your product and your music, you're going to take the chance of being independent. You're going to take the chance of putting it out there. So I think the P is really inspirational with that. What I like about when P talks is that we can really relate the taking chances to aspects of our own life. I think if you've got a business, taking the chance would be, for example, even putting money behind it to promote it, going independent as opposed to taking that paycheck, maybe going 100% in your plan A in life instead of maybe taking a paycheck from a job and leaning on that and only giving 20% of your time to the plan A. So taking the chances on yourself. I think all billionaires and millionaires at some point, they've reached a point where they've had to go all in on something. And if you really do have that self-belief in your product and what you're doing, you have to do it full on. So that's definitely one of the reasons why P's been successful for 30 years now, 400 million up, and I'm sure he's instilled that in his kids as well and a lot of young people. Man, this money ain't gonna make itself. P talks about seizing the opportunity, taking chances at any given opportunity. If you sit back, nothing's gonna happen. So he breaks down that we need to just take our opportunities when we can.
Through the power of the internet right now, I don't think we should have to sit back and wait. It's about creating the opportunity. Don't wait for opportunity. Right now, the internet is so strong. I mean, you look at it, that's what Chuck said. Look at a guy like Soulja Boy just came up through the internet. So you're not sitting back waiting, even though people laugh at Soulja, think, oh man, his music's soft or whatever. But this guy created his own avenue. But just like Chuck said, he also had to go sell out to take it to a big picture. Now, my thing is, sometimes you got to look at in life how far you want to go. And my thing is independence. I thought that this was an avenue that I was able to open up and create and still be able to empower our own people in the community. So I just think that we have to figure out how far we want to go. And the power of the internet is so much bigger right now. It's bigger than a record company. I think you guys figure that part out. That's the future.
Man, with this world we're in now, we have to just create the opportunity. I think even the fact that we're all inside right now, we can't really go out too much. We need to just be able to create the opportunity at the click of a button. At the end of the day, I think if you want to promote yourself, there's loads of different avenues, there's loads of different things you can do. I think the days of getting a conventional 9 to 5 are pretty much over. For example, if you want to be a teacher but you're not sure how to, or the application's too hard, okay, knock on people's doors, ask if their children want to be taught, or make your own flyers, post them online, Facebook, Gumtree, Craigslist, or whatever. Make cards saying your services and then post them to other people's doors. You have to kind of create those opportunities. And he used the example of Soulja Boy. A lot of people were clowning Soulja Boy. 16, 17, kid with a computer dancing. A lot of people were clowning this man, but literally within a year, he became famous. In his first album, he put the name of the website as the album name to actually create more buzz and more energy towards the website and get more clicks. So that's just an example of seizing the opportunity, and that's something that P has been able to do for literally 30 years, coming out of nothing from the Calio projects, having that record store when he was young. And I think even, for example, him lying about his age, saying that it was his dad's record store was an example of kind of seizing the opportunity, thinking outside the box, knowing that in the future, having that leverage of the record stores, being able to meet all those people like Puck and all that kind of stuff is going to help in the future.